Oda has shown us many times in the story that no major plot points in an arc are left unresolved. And even if by the end of the arc, these plot points are not addressed, he usually does tackle them immediately after the arc, or in another arc. There are three main methods used by Oda to usually address these loose plot points. One of those is through the cover stories, which usually end with an outcome that justifies the presence of a character in the later parts of the story, or explains what he has been up to of late, especially if the said character is central to the overall story plot. A good example that Oda used was that of Jinbe. Jinbe's cover story served as a mini prequel to the whole Cake Island arc. It also helped to explain Jinbe's whereabouts after the Fishman Island arc. It introduced another poneglyph to the story, all the while paving the way for Jinbe to meet up with the Straw Hats and finally agree to join the crew. The other two methods are equally important and have been used by Oda many times throughout the story. The first of these two is through flashbacks, a method he used to showcase the Roger-Garp dynamic or even explain how Sabo survived and why he did not come to help Ace. Finally, he sometimes uses foreshadows to highlight a future event that might occur in the story or an event that could affect the fate of a character. This brings us to the topic of today, an unexpected alliance, and how Moriah ended up escaping Beehive with Pudding and Perona. Let us begin. Prior to the Sword members attacking Beehive Island, Oda made use of a cover story to show us what the Blackbeard pirates were up to. The shock was how he wrapped up the Vinsmoke backstory and tied it up with that of the Blackbeard pirates. In the absence of Big Mom and most of the powerful members of the Big Mom pirates, Teach seized the opportunity and dispatched Kuzan and Van Augur to attack Totland. The purpose of this attack was unknown, but they did succeed to capture Pudding. It is very possible that Blackbeard knows of the Three-Eyed Tribe and wanted to use Pudding's ability as a Three-Eyed Tribe member to read the poneglyphs. So Pudding was already established to be on Beehive Island when the Sword members attacked. Prior to that, Perona saved Coby and tasked him with freeing Moriah, whom she claimed was in the deeper cells. Coby did free many prisoners, and I do believe Moriah was one of them. That said, Pudding too could have been freed. If she did bump into Moriah, then this could serve as an important plot point moving forward. We must not forget that Moriah attacked Beehive with his ship. Given Perona's ability, it would have been easy to not only locate it, but find the appropriate escape route. If therefore, Perona met up with Moriah and Pudding, they might have escaped. After all, it took all of the combined efforts of the Blackbeard pirates to stop Garp. So in this case, Garp was the perfect dummy used by Oda to deviate attention from Moriah, Pudding, and Perona's escape. I do believe that once the majority of the Big Mom pirates return, they might dispatch a force to go retrieve Pudding. However, things are not as easy as they seem. And in the absence of Big Mom, I do believe the crew would think twice before going to provoke a fight with another Yonko's crew, especially with the current disappearance of Garp. Therefore, here are a few of the possibilities that Oda might explore. Big Mom will ally with Moriah, especially if he has awakened his devil fruit. There has always been the possibility that one of Moriah's devil fruit's limitations could be overcome upon awakening. We already knew that Moriah's shadows can also be placed into the bodies of living people, increasing their physical power and granting them the ability to use the fighting techniques of the shadow's original owner. However, since a living body already has a soul residing inside it, a shadow placed within a living body will only remain for 10 minutes. After that, the shadow will leave and fly back to its owner. If the awakening of Moriah's devil fruit overcame this barrier, it would be possible for him to create a crew of super soldiers, especially if combined with Big Mom's ability to create homies. An army of super homies is what I think Oda is heading for. This would solve one of Big Mom's greatest problems, which was acquiring a very strong army. This was the reason why she wanted Lola to marry Prince Loki in the first place. Therefore, if Moriah solves this problem, it would be a win situation for Big Mom. Of course, this would depend on whether Big Mom is still alive. This would mean Moriah might not need to look for corpses to reanimate. Another possibility would be him to return to Ringo, to steal some high-end corpses in order to create another super zombie crew. That said, I would love to believe Oda's disrespect for Moriah would end here, and that his defeat to Teach and his crew will prompt him to return to training, and return to being the monster that he previously was. Finally, the most plausible option would be for him to join Cross Guild, as we have seen the former warlords joining forces to stand up to the Navy. This possibility makes even more sense if we consider the fact that Perona is an acquaintance of Mihawk. As for Pudding, she might use this as an opportunity to flee the crew as Lola did. Tagging along with Moriah will enable the Cross Guild to have someone capable of reading the poneglyphs, of course if Pudding awakens the special ability of the Three-Eyed Tribe. This way 2 of Roger's apprentices would be aiming for the title of Pirate King. Shanks would have gotten the poneglyph rubbings from Kid, whereas Buggy would have gotten Pudding's potential to read the inscriptions written on the poneglyphs. Let us not forget that Buggy recently said he wants to be Pirate King. As a conclusion, despite the fact that Blackbeard might have lost Pudding and Moriah, he did get Law's poneglyph rubbings, and of course captured the hero of the Navy Garp, if he still is alive, whom he could use as a bargaining chip to negotiate the recognition of Beehive Island as a full-fledged nation affiliated to the world government. Let me know your thoughts on this theory. I will catch you guys later.